What's up, fellas? All right, we got our first video coming out today. This video is going to be fully about how I run my exact lead generating business model. All right, you can call it freelance brand scaling, whatever term that you associate it with. I'm going to be giving you guys my entire blueprint, how I run my business, how I run all my systems and everything like that. You know, what things I use, all the tools I use, and stuff like that. You're going to be learning about, the outreach process, tracking your leads, tracking your clients, tracking everything like that. The closing steps, everything like that, automations as far as, CRMs and stuff like that, and actually scaling. So this is going to be perfect for people who are trying to get into, the marketing space, the freelancing, brand scaling space, whatever you want to call it. Lead generation obviously is what this is about. So there's a lot of tools in here that you can use for different business models. This isn't, fully specific to lead generation, but this is the exact blueprint I use and the tools I use to successfully run my business. All right, so the first step I want to kind of talk about is why lead generation is the most underrated online business model as of now. Okay. Let's just talk about some of the simple facts about it. You have no inventory, there's no shipping, there's no product that you need. You're the middleman, right? So you have no kind of things that you have to worry about, such as supplies, such as labels, all the normal stuff that, online businesses, whatever it is, clothing brand, e-com brand, whatever it is, you have to worry about those kind of things. In this business model, you're just the middleman, right? You're bringing leads to to business owners who are wanting the leads. They're wanting to close jobs. They're wanting more money. That's essentially it, right? So local businesses need customers. You're bringing them their leads through meta ads, which is exactly what I'm going to be kind of going about today and showing you about, which is meta ads, right? The full breakdown of exactly what I do and stuff like that. I'll show you how to get your clients, how to run your ads, how to get the follow-ups, and how you can get paid $1,000 to $3,000 monthly per business that you work with, right? So say you're signing, 10 clients that all at, $2,000, $3,000 range. You're going to be printing, right? And that's the goal, obviously, is to be making money through a business that works. And this is a great one to get into. So let's move on from that. We're just going to be talking about like the kind of 5 steps that I use to run my entire business. So you're going to have your messages, right? This is going to be manual or a virtual assistant, which is a VA. So these messages are going to be to, potential clients, stuff like that. You're going to be reaching out, outreaching, whatever it is. How you're going to be tracking and following up with leads, every 3 to 5 days, however your process works. You're going to be closing calls, closing DMs, and getting paid. You're going to be automating your systems using Go High Level. You can scale your own business with paid ads, short form, and cold calls. So yeah, that's kind of just like the 5-step overview of what we're going to be going over. So the first part, obviously, you're going to be needing a client. And how are you going to get a client? So you're going to go about this 1, 2, maybe 3 different ways. The 2 most common is going to be cold calling and cold DMing. All right, so we'll go over cold DMing first. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be finding businesses on IG, AI softwares, or Google. Usually whenever you're sending DMs and stuff, this can kind of, tie into also emailing or SMS, reach out or outreach. But you're going to be finding these clients, whether it's, on the systems that I just named, like you could use Apollo AI, Hunter IO, I believe, also does the same kind of stuff. Or Google. So you're going to be going on Google, looking up, local businesses near me in this niche specifically, and you're going to reach out to them through text, calls, whatever it is. In this case specifically, we're going to be going over DMs. So say you find clients on Instagram, or you find their social media pages and you decide to shoot them DMs. We're going to be kind of going over, what the deep dive would mean to actually, text these people. So once you're going to be finding these clients, you're going to want to find them, and you're going to want them to have almost a weak presence, right? They're going to be, you're going to look for bad bios, shitty CTAs, no booking links, poor content, and no pixel, right? So nothing in their funnel that's going to be bringing them successful leads. And that's the whole point of view, is to change that and to bring them good leads. So you're going to be using Loom. You could use Instagram messages even. I use primarily Instagram messages. They let you take a video literally on your phone of you talking. That's what I use primarily if I'm using DMs or if I'm outreaching through DMs. So you want to point out what's broken, right? So a lot of the businesses that I reach out to, I always find an issue, and I offer a solution to that issue. So whether it's they have or are running ads and they don't look good, so they're running ads and they just, poorly content, poorly structured, no funnel to it, no pipeline to kind of control the leads that are coming in. And you can test it yourself. So say you find clients on Instagram who have, solid work and stuff, they're reputable business, but their funnel's shit, right? So say you fill out the lead form, you don't get a text back for 6-7 hours, and then you can kind of justify off of that they need help, right? So they have no outreach system or no follow-up system that's going to be helping leads come in and actually closing those leads. So you want to kind of point out in that video what's broken. For me, example would be, say you find a client on Instagram who's already running ads, and they're pretty ass, as far as they don't really have a good bio, no good offer, no clear offer, no CTA, whatever it is. You want to kind of reach out, point that out to them, and then kind of give them the example of how you'd fix it. So say, I go deep into, I've obviously been in the meta space, so you can kind of, bounce off of what your knowledge is and explain to them that how much a CTA would fix their results, how much, these certain small fixes could actually create a huge impact on their ads. So I don't personally use a DM script. You can use a DM script, I guess. I would be careful if you're on social media platforms though, because oftentimes if you're sending a bunch of messages that are, very similar, you can get banned. Obviously, you can, they see you as a bot essentially. So this is just kind of like an example. I wouldn't say use this DM script, obviously, but you're just gonna be like, yo, the business owner's name. So you'd be like, yo, what's up? I saw your page. I help with whatever niche that you're in. So say it's car detailing. Yo, I saw your page. I help detailing businesses get 10 to 30 book jobs a month using Instagram, Facebook automations, and ads. Now kind of explain what that means to them without losing their interest. You got to sell yourself and your business, right? So if you're going to go on about a 5-minute video of you talking about how you're going to set up their campaigns, how you're going to set up their ads, all that stuff, they're just going to click off, right? You need to be thorough, but you need to be clear, right? So you need to have your points and bring it to the light, but without dragging it on, right? Because business owners, they don't got time to sit and listen to you give a presentation about what's wrong in their business. No one wants to hear that, right? So the goal is to obviously explain, but don't lose interest. That's why I said it here. You got to explain without losing their interest, right? You don't want to have a 2-minute, 4-minute, 5-minute video. You want to have, maybe a minute 30 seconds, just saying, hey, what's up? I saw that you had these issues in your page. Let's talk about how we could fix it. Something simple like that is very clear, very direct. You want to follow up. So say you don't really hear a response, or you kind of hear, okay, yeah, I'll let you know. You just want to follow up, quick message, be like, yo, just want to follow up on this. Want me to resend the video? Let me know if you have any questions. It's very simple. Quick follow up with them. This is going to, obviously re-spark their interest. Maybe they're busy, whatever the case is, it's going to help bring them back into you. Now your second option, the alternate option to step one, which would be cold call outreach. You want to be doing somewhere between probably 50 and 100 calls a day. To really stay in that high range of getting clients, signing clients, and everything like that. So you're going to be using Google Maps, for example. You can go on Google, look up businesses near you. SM, which is social media, so you go on Facebook, Instagram, look up businesses, hashtags, whatever it is, or data extractors. So you could use Apollo AI, Hunter.io, a lot of AI systems that have businesses information in there that you could use to, outreach. Call during the business hours. So I wouldn't say call past 4 p.m. This is a pretty solid time frame that you want to call within. Anywhere from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. is probably pretty solid. Use a short script to bypass the gatekeepers. This isn't a great one, but this is kind of just something to get the idea in your head. So hey, is this the owner? I'll keep it quick. I help detailer businesses like yours get an extra 10 to 30 new book jobs a month using Facebook ads and automated follow-ups. I shot a quick video of what I do for you and your business. Want me to text it to you? Something simple like that. Kind of introduce yourself, introduce your business, introduce your ideas without kind of making them lose interest. So if they give you the permission to send the videos, you send it to them, kind of show what you're going to be doing for them, what you're going to fix. And that's where you can kind of go a little bit more in depth, obviously, without making them a whole YouTube video about what you're going to be doing for their business, right? So you want to be tracking these calls, right? So if you have super simple to create a Google spreadsheet, list out all the numbers you called for the day, write the status of them, say not interested, rejected, whatever the case may be. You want to have that somewhere tied in so you know the stages of what businesses are at with you. You obviously want to try and avoid, if someone rejects you or doesn't want your business, you don't want to call them again and be like, hey, pitch the same services, right? It's just a waste of time. Wasting your time, wasting theirs. So try and keep track of it, keep in a spreadsheet, write it down somewhere. A CRM works too. You can track contacts and everything like that. So yeah, make sure you're, staying up to date with what you're calling and who you're calling. Let's do like a little bit of deep dive on that. So you could use Google Maps, like I said, social media, data scrapers to get those owners' numbers. And the best time to call, like I said, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. is probably going to be ideal. Those are, around the hours that the owners are probably going to be in office. If it's like an actual office building or like an actual business building. Those are the most common hours that the owners are going to be there. They usually, if they leave, they're leaving during lunch, right? They'll go to lunch, eat their food, go home. That's pretty standard with business owners. They don't need to be there all day. So I would say, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. is going to be your golden hours. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. is also going to be pretty solid if the owner, stays in office after lunch, after hours, stuff like that. So that's going to be your ideal business hours. You're going to be met with a lot of gatekeepers. Okay, gatekeepers are the people that are going to prevent you from being able to talk to the owner. You need to get past them in order to pitch your business. If you pitch your business to a gatekeeper, they're going to say, thanks, I'll let them know, and you're never going to hear again. 99% of the time. I've never had a case where I've met a gatekeeper, told them my message that I want to get through, and I've been reached back out to. Just does not happen. You need to speak with the owner. The owner is the only person that's going to want to actually maybe hear you out. They have the power, right? So you don't want to be stuck talking with gatekeepers, people who are just preventing you from actually reaching the owner and signing them. So a little bit of a little kind of script almost. I wouldn't say go off of these scripts. I would not say that. I don't use any kind of scripts. I use what I know is best, what I have used in the past to kind of get past those gatekeepers and whatnot, but this is kind of like a form of that. So hey, is this the owner's name? Say his name's Jake. Hey, is this Jake? Is Jake in? I'm calling about a local campaign that we're testing for detailers, so want to see this, right? So this kind of gives some kind of incentive of what you're doing, what you're here for, why you're calling, and stuff like that. So yeah. When the owner answers, so say you get them actually connected, say he's in office, say he comes to the phone, use a quick pitch, right? You don't want to be sitting here on the phone with a business owner for an hour. You don't want to be sitting on the phone with them for 30 minutes. You want to be quick. The goal of the first call is to not sign them. The goal of the call is to get them on another call or to send them a video, right? You're never going to be booking these owners off of a first call, especially if they're in office. It's very unlikely, very uncommon. I've never seen it personally. Maybe you could do it. I don't recommend trying to. It's just going to be, things are going to be rushed. You're going to forget stuff. They're going to forget stuff. It's not very ideal. So hey, I'll keep this super quick. I help detailers get an extra 10 to 30 jobs a month using Facebook ads and automated follow-ups. I made a short video of showing what I do and what I can do for your business. Want me to text it over to you? Something simple. You kind of explain what you're here for, why you're there, what you can do, and then you can lead that into either a video or a call follow-up. So say he's like, yeah, go ahead, shoot me the video. You sit in the video, he's happy with it. You want to schedule another follow-up. You want to keep following up until you get these people signed, right? If you have a call and it goes great, that's awesome. You want to also follow up with another great call. That's going to be where you're going to be making the money, actually signing them, getting them onboarded, and stuff like that. After the call, text them your link. So say you've recorded a Loom video, you want to send that to them, or a booking link. So say use Calendly or something like that. So you use a booking link and they book in a time to have a conversation with you. Make sure you show up to that. Make sure you obviously get your client. Log the outcome. So say, like I was saying earlier, use Google Sheets, use a CRM if you have one. Keep these stages clear, right? You want to know what stages people are at within your business, right? You don't want to lose track of that. It's very important. Set a date to follow up, and if they don't reply, then you need to keep following up. Okay, you do not let these business owners just get away, because I've had cases where I've reached out to business owners and they don't really give me the answer that I want immediately, and they text me back a month later, 2 months later, and they're like, oh hey, let's sign now. I've got some money now. I've saved up some jobs. Let's get into the ad space. So never lose track of these clients. You never want to abandon a client on your own end. You never want it to be your fault that a client leaves you. Okay, so keeping these things written down, tracked, is all going to help prevent that. Key point, like I was saying, the goal of the first call is not to sell. You do not want to sell. It's to get permission to send your video, which is your audit, your Loom, whatever it is, and then follow up. Kind of marked it out, but you want to follow up. You need to keep following up until you are at the goal that you want to be at, which is signing these clients. All right? Next step, you got to close the lead, collect the bag, get the money, okay? Hop on a quick call or keep it in DMs even. You could use, videos, voice messages, whatever it is, however you go about it. I would recommend videos, or not videos. I would recommend a call. You always want to be, face-to-face if you can, FaceTime, even just over the normal phone call. Zoom, whatever it is, I would recommend you need to be on a call with them. Okay? Use the audit, use what you talked about in the video. Point out the value in it. You need to have value. If you don't have value, a business owner is not going to see you as something they want to add to their business, right? If you're not bringing things to the table for them, then why are they on the call with you? So, and then you need to have your offer, okay? You need to have a solid offer, and we'll get to kind of what the offer is going to look like and stuff like that a little bit later in the video. But you need to have a clear and concise offer with whatever value and pitch that you have. So if you're pitching them the ad service, you need to have a solid offer that corresponds to the ad service. Okay. Recap on the pain that they're dealing with. Okay. So find the things that you pointed out in those videos that you had, those calls that you had, those texts that you had, whatever it is. Bring up, if they've been having slow weeks, bad leads, bad ads, whatever it is. If they're not getting clients in, like this says, no leads, or just bad quality leads. Say they're getting people in, but they're not booking any. That's a big thing that you could fix as far as just having simple ads. Okay. So show your value, explain your system and how it can fix these issues. These are probably the biggest 3 issues that you're going to have or see in a business. You need to explain the value in those. So explain how you're going to fix these. Oftentimes people kind of say like, oh, I don't have numbers to back what I'm talking about. I don't have past results. Well, you're not going to need those if you can explain and pitch yourself correctly. If you're pointing out all of these issues to them and not having any kind of fix to it, then you just are there for no reason. If you can fully find, troubleshoot the issues in their business as far as ads, which is what you're going to be targeting, and then you can explain how you can fix that exactly, there's no doubt that you're going to get that you're going to get the interest of the business owner. It's very simple. All right? Then you want to drop the offer, all right? So this offer, like I said, needs to correspond with whatever package that you're doing. And what I mean by package is, are you just doing their ads for them? Are you doing follow-ups for them? Are you doing calendar bookings for them? Are you booking their closed clients into a sheet? Whatever it is, you need to keep track of what you're actually going to be providing for them. And also what results you're going to be getting for them. If you're going to be getting them, 10 to 20 new leads, new customers a month, then you need to have that all, it needs to make sense, right? It needs to be in the same boat as the price, as the package, as everything else, right? Moving up, kind of just like a script example of what you could use, a DM or a call. You should kind of just be like, based on what I saw, you're probably missing out on 10 to 20 jobs a month because there's no follow-up system or your ads aren't targeted to buyers. What I do specifically is run meta ads, which is Facebook, Instagram. I capture leads, immediately text them there's no auto text immediately, same thing. Instantly text them with booking links so they can actually schedule into your calendar without you having to do a thing. You don't have to chase them. We bring the leads ready to book to you. It's $1,500 a month, including everything. Want to lock in this spot for this month, or want to lock in a spot for this month. Very simple. Obviously, I'm not saying don't follow this. Create your own kind of gist, create your own offer. This is a good idea. This is something that you can look at and be like, okay, so this is what it kind of needs to sound like. This is what it looks like. Have structure to it. Obviously, you don't want to be like, okay, it's $1,500 a month. This is what I'm going to be doing for you. No, you want to kind of point out what their issue is, how you're going to fix it, and then the actual offer itself, right? And another thing, want to lock in a spot for this month. This is very important. You need to have some kind of urgency to your business. If you don't have urgency, you're not going to be booking clients as fast and as consistent as you want to. Okay. If you have, say you're doing, 3 to 5 clients a month, as far as booking new 3 to 5 clients, and you want more, you need to create scarcity. You need to be like, okay, well, we're only onboarding, 2, 3 new clients this month. We're already in conversation with another guy in the same industry as you. Let's try and, we really want to work with you, so let's get some urgency to it. You need to have some kind of urgency to your business, because if you don't, then business owners aren't going to feel kind of the rush to want to sign with you, or the actual need to sign with you. There's going to be no really drive for them. And actually getting paid. So this is the part where you bring home the money, like this guy, right? So how you can collect payments, you can use Stripe, Go high level invoices, which is like a CRM invoice, or third-party payment services. So meaning you can use Zelle, you can use, Venmo, PayPal, whatever it is. I personally would recommend you do full invoices with Stripe, or Square, or an actual invoice system. You can use third-party ones. I've used bank transfers in the past, which is like Zelle pretty much. You can use, just normal banking transfers and stuff like that. And then next thing. So you want to send the invoice right after the call closes, but have them sign the contract on the call. You want them to actually be signing the contract on the call, and the reason for this is because you can explain your contract over a call better than you can explain over text, over video, whatever it is, right? So say they have questions as far as, I live in Texas myself, so say that they're a client in California. I want to kind of point out that any kind of legal things or any kind of, things that need to be brought to a court, they need to be brought in your city, your state, whatever it is, right? So you need to have all these things clear on your contract. I'm not going to really go into building a contract because that's super easy. Anyone can do it. But you need to have them sign the contract on the call just in case any questions come up, any concerns, anything like that. Because usually on the contract, you're going to be having your services that you're providing and what you're getting paid for those services. So you need to have those clear in case any questions come up. Offer a monthly retainer or a flat campaign fee. So I go with a monthly retainer, and I usually base that off of a few things: the size of the business, how much they're spending on ads, as well as what it's going to cost me to actually create their CRM sub account. Okay, and we'll kind of get into more high level stuff here in a minute. But you need to make sure that you're obviously being profitable. Especially if you're outsourcing, people do your creatives for you, people are doing media buying for you. You need to make sure that you have a retainer or a fee, whatever you want to go about charging, that is making you profitable. Because why would you want to be in something that you're getting the smallest cut when your outsourced clients or you're outsourcing people such as media buyers, creative designers, whatever it is, are taking most of the money. You don't want that. So you need to have something that coincides, is in the same page as you as far as getting paid and actually being profitable as a business. Ad contract, so I use PandaBuy usually, or PandaDoc, not PandaBuy. PandaDoc's pretty simple. I think it's like free for the first couple of contracts. Pretty much you could just go to Google, or not Google, ChatGPT, have it write up a full pretty much contract for your business. You literally just give it the details, say, hey, write me a contract, I live in Texas, so and so. It'll write it for you. Yeah. And some important notes about this, some objections that you could come up with, and kind of how to fix those. We'll go over the important notes in a second, but oftentimes you're going to hear things are too expensive. Okay, you're going to be told that your services are way too expensive, I guarantee. Unless you're charging, $200-$300, but at that point, you probably should be getting into another niche. So something that you could say to kind of combat this is say, I totally get it, but if I bring you the next 10 booked jobs and you close 3 of them at $2,000 each, that's a $6K return on a $1,000 investment or $1,500 investment. So the returns are pretty insane considering the opportunity that you hold for the business, right? So if you're closing and you're getting all these clients in for them, there's no reason why they should think, oh, I'm not going to be making money from this, right? If you're actually and have the real experience and the real knowledge to actually make them profitable and make their ads winning, then you have no reason to not tell them that. Okay, so tell them this is a small investment for the return that can be great. Okay, another thing that you're probably going to hear a lot is I've ran ads before. Okay, that's why I don't just run ads. I build a full system that brings in leads and follow-ups to automatically get things booked. Okay, this is taking the pain off of the owner's shoulders to have to reach out to leads, close the leads, book the leads, and then service the leads. You're eliminating 3 out of the 4 to 5 steps that they have to go through, okay? And most of the times, a lot of businesses don't really have the virtual assistant. They don't have a VA. They don't have someone who's answering the calls, booking the calls, doing all that stuff because it's expensive. You are offering a solution to all of that, okay? So that's very important. Can I think about it? This brings me back to my point earlier. You need to have some kind of urgency, okay? So of course, but just to let you know, this isn't a mass blast service, okay? I only take on 1 to 2 clients per month, per industry, per city. If you're in, I can hold your spot till tonight or tomorrow, but you need to let me know by then. This creates some kind of urgency to the business owner to actually think about it. Because if they're going into something, going into a call and like, oh, okay, maybe, you don't create some kind of urgency, it's going to float past their mind, right? If you don't have some kind of thing that is keeping your services in their mind, then they're going to forget about you, right? It's a business owner, not some random guy. They have a business to take care of. Okay, so you need to have something that is going to sit in their head while they're thinking about it. So create that scarcity, that urgency to them by being like, okay, I only take on a few clients. We can hold your spot, but I'm just letting you know it's possible that it could get taken. All right. Now this is going to be the actual onboarding process. Okay, so this is a very, this is pretty simplified to obviously make it into a presentation, but this is the steps of actually onboarding in a client. So first, you're going to want to get paid for your services, okay? I wouldn't say do free trials. I wouldn't say do, free services and not get paid for it, because there literally is no return for you. You're putting in hours, you're putting in work for something that's not going to pay you back. Okay? So you want to send your invoice, to Stripe, go high level. Your contract can be done through PandaDoc. Minimum, I always go by monthly, so obviously it would just be for like 30 days, 31 days, whatever. Optional would be a setup fee. Okay, so if you charge a setup fee to get a client onboarded, which you likely will, because if you are using a CRM such as Go High Level, which is what I personally use, you're going to have to pay for the phone number. You're going to have to pay, obviously, for the upgraded account if you don't already have it, to actually get access to have multiple sub-accounts. So I usually have a setup fee. The setup fee isn't great. It's usually like $100. That takes care of enough to actually pay for the number, get the number set up and stuff like that. So it's pretty simple. Never start your work until the payment clears. Okay, so don't set up anything until you have the money in the bag. Very important. Okay. Send a welcome and onboarding form. Okay, so create some kind of typed form, Google form, Go High Level survey with the business name, number, service areas, target audience, website, Instagram, Facebook links, the offer if they have one, so free quotes, whatever kind of offer that they're actually doing, discounts, stuff like that. Do they want to be on calls? Do they want to do form leads, calendar bookings, and kind of, have some kind of option for them? Okay, so business owners are going to want some kind of maneuver way, kind of try and set things their own tone, and this gives you the ability to do that. So whenever you onboard a client, you need to have these main things, right? As far as lead gen, you need, a lot of these things, okay? So you're going to need the name, you're going to need the number, you're going to need the service city that they're working in. Target audience is something that you can ask and can get from them, but usually this is something that you can kind of figure out on your own as far as the ads. You need to know what their website is. You need to have all their social media links like Instagram, Facebook. Offer, very important, because you're going to want to have an offer for the actual leads themselves, right? So you need to have some kind of free quote, some kind of discount that they're doing for their new customers, some kind of offer that they're obviously going to be inciting inside of these ads. Okay. Do they want calls, form leads, or calendar bookings? This is kind of just having their own way to set up how they want to be contacted, what kind of leads that they want to be getting. So you could have these set up to whenever leads come in, they could be booking themselves straight into a calendar link that then the business owners or the business can reach out to at that time that they book it in, and actually get their service, whatever, or get their free quote or whatever, or get their discount, whatever, however they want it set up. So this kind of leaves some room for options. Best contact method, text, email, or call. This is very important. You want to be obviously reaching out to these people with their preferred method. Okay. Step 3. Okay. Set up access and integrations. Very important. Okay. So you need access to the Meta Business Manager, the ad account access, the Facebook page access, Instagram page. Okay. You need their domain if you're going to be doing funneling. So if you're going to be pushing people to their page, pushing them to their website, you need to set up funneling for that. So you're going to need access to their domain if that's what you're going to be doing. Okay. Calendar link, they're going to be wanting one for bookings. So if they have calendar links where they kind of book in their free quotes, book in their free service, discount, whatever it is, you're going to want to need and have access to that link so you can actually use it, right? So whenever leads reach out, you got to tell them book into this link here. You could use a Loom video or a PDF walkthrough so they aren't confused. This is very important. I know Josh Hills does this very well. He has a very well onboarding process, meaning he sends videos straight to the client. They literally get all the information they need to set up their account properly for the media buyers. Okay. Kickoff message orientation. This is kind of just preparing them for what they're going to get into. You're all set. Your ads are launching today. You'll get leads directly to your phone via email or text. Check in every few days with updates. Let me know if anyone books directly. This is kind of just keeping your eye on things, making sure that you are following up with their business, making sure that you're knowledgeable of what's going on, right? And yeah, something to add. Keep it simple. Clients hate tech. Okay, so clients that you're going to be working with don't want to deal with the tech stuff. That's why you're there. Okay, they don't want to handle the ads. They don't want to handle the follow-ups. You're there for that reason. Okay, Show them how to use a pipeline or manage it yourself. This is kind of just something that you could keep in the back of your mind. You could show them how to use a pipeline as far as whenever people are reaching out and actually getting their quotes, what stage are they in within the pipeline? So are they getting their quote? Have they been quoted? Have they been reached out to and serviced? Have they not been serviced? Are they broke? They're not, looking to actually buy into the service. They just wanted to submit a lead for God knows why. Okay? Make them feel like they joined something bigger than just ads. You don't want to be just the ads guy. You want to be a part and a working component of their business. You are very important to them. You're taking a massive load off of their shoulders. You don't want to be the ads guy. You want to be the guy, right? Moving on. You're actually going to want to be delivering the results. So now that you have a client onboarded, a client in your possession, if you will, you want to actually be getting them the results that they want, okay? And this is going to kind of just go over very basically, not very in-depth of what that's going to look like. So you're going to be using the ads manager. So if you've never ran ads before, it's something called the ads manager, which is through Meta, all right? You run the campaign inside of the Meta Ads Manager, like I said, under the client's brand or page. Do not run them over your own page. It needs to be the client's page. It's very upsetting if I ever see someone do that, okay? You're running ads for someone on your own personal account. Like, what are you doing? All right? The objective is going to be lead generation. So it's going to be something called leads, okay? So whenever you set up a campaign, it's going to be something where it kind of selects what your goal of the campaign is. It's going to be like sales, traffic. It's going to be leads, okay? You need leads. That's the whole goal, okay? Local targeting. So whenever you're actually filling out the steps within the ad sets and stuff, you need to have a target. I usually stay somewhere around 15 to 30, zip code based or just like a mile radius. Usually you could ask them what city they're based out of, and just, literally look up that city and then do a radius around that whole city, right? Very simple. Simple ad creatives. This is just very, very basic. I'm not saying use these or don't use these. You literally should go about your creatives however you see fit for the business, okay? Before and afters are great. Real project pictures, so not AI, real project pictures with customers that are happy with it. Social proof, this is very important. If you have a client that has 0 social proof, people are not going to want to reach out through a social media platform. You need to have them posting every couple days. This is something you can do, but I will not say do it, okay? I wouldn't say be the guy to post all their Instagrams and videos. That's not your job, right? Your job's to be getting them leads. Okay, so make them, kind of take up the work. Make them literally, it's very simple. Post 1 to 2 times, 3 times even a week. Get some proof of your work out there outside of the ads themselves, because the ads themselves are literally there just to amplify your clientele. Okay, include a lead form with these things: full name, phone number, and the service type. This is very basic. Okay. This is very broad. This is not specific to any kind of business other than just lead gen, okay? Usually for me, you want to keep it, pretty, not necessarily just for me, but you want to keep it very short. You don't want to have a 15-question lead form to get clients booked into your actual businesses, or into your client's business, okay? They don't want to go through that. You don't want to fucking lose leads because of it, okay? It's just an example of something an ad bio can look like once you're actually doing the ads themselves. Let's just say this, for example, is about window cleaning, just to run with it. Looking to upgrade your windows? So-and-so's business is now offering free quotes to blank, whatever city you're targeting, homeowners this week only. This creates some kind of incentive to the actual people that are going to be seeing these ads to want to reach out within this week. Okay, so this is not leaving any kind of room for like, oh, maybe I'll come back to this, and then they forget. No, this is telling them you have this week, and they don't even know sometimes when the ads went out. Say it's the last day of the week, right? So this is kind of creating some kind of question in their head, be like, oh, do I have time? Let me reach out now. This is creating an incentive for the actual people to fill out the lead form. Very important. All right, tableau to claim your spot. Very simple. Keep it direct and benefit focused, okay? So don't be bringing up downsides in lead forms. Don't be bringing up, kind of like issues, really. I wouldn't say that's really what your goal is. Your goal is to be direct with it. You want to ask them direct questions. What's your name? What's your number? Where are you at? What service do you want? Very simple. All right. Lead campaign deep dive. This is just a little bit of an insight into actual running the ads. Okay. So the campaign type, like I said, it's going to be leads objective. You're not boosting posts. You're not doing traffic or awareness. You are not wanting to get people to come to your site. You are wanting to get people booked in. Okay? Very important. Ad structure itself. Very important. Campaign, like I said, leads. Ad set, local targeting, so a radius or zip code targeting. One niche. So this is just kind of like some interest. So, obviously pool builders, whatever niche that you're in. Ad creative, so use photos, videos, simple headlines, direct CTAs. These are all going to be great things that you use. Lead form, as like I said, very simply, 2 to 3 fields, very simple for people to fill out, very quick, very easy. Also doesn't take much time to look at them and be like, okay, this is the information. I need to go through 15 other things to get all their information. No, keep it simple. Add a custom thank you with the CTA. Okay, so I didn't really have much else other than that, but you can add like a little thank you screen. Usually whenever you're at the end of a lead form, it says like, thanks, your lead form has been submitted, and then you can customize what it says after that. So you could say, hey, thanks for submitting a lead form. Check out our website to see some more past work. Check out our page to see some more past work. That's what I mean by CTA. Like, I just didn't really type anything after that. I wanted to kind of explain it. All right, what not to do in lead campaigns. Very important. Do not do these. Okay, asking too much info. Like I said, you're going to lose clients this way. If you have a 15, 13, 10 question lead form, you're going to lose clients. Don't do this. Using boosted posts. Don't use a boosted post for your ads. Use an actual ad. Don't. Boosted posts are bullshit. They're literally just for traffic. They're not for leads. Okay? No automation after the form submit. So if these clients that you're working with do not have a immediate or very quick follow-up system, this is something that you need to fix. This is something that you can pitch to them. Okay, so we'll get into that literally here in a second. Running traffic campaigns, expecting leads. So make sure that your objective of the campaign itself is leads. You want to be getting leads. Do not do anything else. Okay? All right. Now, go high level. What is go high level? It's this right here. We'll talk about what Go High Level does, and then we'll kind of go over the automation. So the purpose of the system, the exact reasoning, this is the #1 reason local businesses waste ad spend is the slow or no follow-up. Okay, follow-ups are so important in the lead gen space because that's where you're going to be making a lot of the clients and following up. If you don't follow up, you don't get clients. Very simple. Go High Level is there to prevent you from losing clients this way. Very simple. Okay? You can get the best leads in the world, but if your client, the business owner, takes 6 to 7 hours to text them back, it's dead. It's a cold lead. It's not warm. They're not going to be interested. They're going to be like, why am I just now getting texted? It's 8 hours later. It's 12 hours later. It's the next day. I don't care. It's very stupid of you to have an amazing performing system and not be getting leads closed because of something simple like this. Okay, this system will solve that problem instantly. So your client looks very professional, fast, and reliable. Okay, very important. Like I said, it helps you retain clients longer because they're getting results without doing the extra work. You're not even doing the work. Essentially, you're setting up the automations to do the work. So you're literally changing these business owners' lives who don't have these systems, right? They're following up manually. They're losing leads because of it. This is something that you combat and fix for them. Most agencies don't do this, right? Most of the people in the lead gen space do not run automations. And if they do, they're pretty shit. So if you can learn how to do this and do it well, you are a weapon in the space. Now, this is kind of a breakdown, a little bit of a deep dive into what Go High Level system would actually look like. So you'd have something called an automation. An automation is an automation, right? It's auto done. It does it for you, okay? So you're going to have it set to a meta lead form submission, okay? So this is going to be very in-depth. This is going to be pretty much for people who understand what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to go in too in-depth with Go High Level because it's a very long topic and it can be very long to kind of explain and break down. But Keep it simple. Your trigger is going to be a instant text to the lead. So whenever leads come in, they're going to get instantly texted within seconds. Okay. Speed to lead is the key. I have it right here. Speed to lead is the key. The faster you are to lead, the higher chance you have of closing them and turning them into an actual customer. Okay. Example. Don't use this. This is an example. Hey, Joanne, thanks for reaching out to my business or the client's business, whatever the name is. I'm just, running off the top of my head. You could book here for your free quote. This is going to be like a calendar link, okay? So if you prefer, someone will also reach out shortly, okay? So they're going to have the option to book into a calendar, and if they don't, then they'll have a follow-up with them, okay? This is all in the same system as keeping the owners on top of their shit and kind of doing it for them, essentially. You're making sure that these clients and these leads don't go cold. So most of the time, they're going to book into the link. Very simple. Either someone from the business or the business owner themselves are going to reach out at that time that they book into, actually give them their quote, give them whatever the case is, okay? Your second trigger. This is going to be an internal notification to your client. This is actually going to let your client know that someone submitted a lead. Example. New lead, exclamation point, name, Joanne, like I said, phone number, bam, service, bam, follow up ASAP to close the deal, bam. So this kind of directly ties into the booking link. So say, for example, they book in an actual time, they're going to get a notification that also says, Joanne booked in at 2 p.m., okay, at August 2nd. Okay, they're going to reach out August 2nd, 2 p.m. Bam, there's your lead. Okay, they're going to get on that conversation with them. They're going to talk to them. They're going to close them. Okay, very simple. Drop into GHL pipeline. So this is going to be tying into your pipeline. So you're going to have new leads. You're going to have the contacted leads. You're going to have the booked leads, and you're going to have the closed leads. Okay, your client can drag and drop to track the process, or you can manage it for them. Very simple process. It's literally just keeping track of the stages that the potential clients or leads are at. Very simple, very important though. Optional. This is also, all of these steps are very basic. Okay, this is like the most basic kind of automation. You're going to do this, be a little bit more in depth with it. Don't use the examples that I use. Obviously, use something real. This is just an optional setup follow-up method. Okay, so oftentimes and sometimes you're going to get people who submit leads and never answer back. This is to help combat that and help fix that. Okay, so this is going to be an auto follow-up if no response. So say this first text message goes out. Hey, Joanne, thanks for reaching out. Thanks for requesting your quote. Say they don't answer. Set the delay to 1 day. 24 hours after this message goes out, it's going to shoot another message saying, hey, Joanne, just checking back. Still interested in getting that free service quote, free, detailing quote, free whatever quote. Okay, so have it tie in to the trigger one, which would be them requesting it. This is following up with them if they don't answer here. Very important and can create you a lot of new clients. All right, let's just kind of go over GHL in and of itself and why it's very important. Okay, what makes you more valuable than most ad guys, most media buyers, most freelance brand scalers, whatever you want to fucking call it? Okay, you're not just running traffic, you're helping them close. Whenever you have a GHL system, you're helping them actually turn the leads that you're getting for them into clients, into revenue, into profit. Very, very important key aspect of lead generation, and this is something that will set you apart from other brand scalers, other lead generators, whatever you want to call it, okay? Created a full mini sales machine that they've never had. If these clients that don't have any of these systems, it's going to be very clear. You're the first person to ever have a system like this for them. It's going to be insane for them to see how much of a difference it makes. If you're having follow-ups, if you're having, automatic text backs, whatever the case is, all these things they've never had before, they've never been at the luxury to have. You're creating this opportunity for them. This is why you're more valuable than the other guys that are texting them, okay? It separates you from freelancers or agencies who just use boosted posts to get traffic, get numbers, get clicks, whatever it is. You're actually bringing them leads. You're actually helping them close leads. Very important. It gives you leverage when charging $1,000 to $3,000 a month. Most ad services of itself, strictly just running the ads, zero follow-ups, zero automations. It's not that much of a charge, I would say. Obviously, you're going to be charging, doing great numbers for these people. You're going to be charging based off of that, right? If you're bringing them an extra 20, 30K in jobs, then you need to be charging accordingly, right? But this gives you leverage to even charge more than that because you're handling more for them. Okay, this isn't adding things, this isn't adding services, this is only improving what you are doing for them. Okay, so you're already bringing them the leads, right? Why let that be sacrificed when you have something that could immediately fix it, which is follow-ups, automations, very simple. Okay, it's easier to keep a client if they see book jobs are hitting their phone instantly. Okay, if you have a client who is getting these leads in, okay, but they're not being booked, they're getting the notification, hey, maybe a lead came in. They're getting told, like, hey, there's a bunch of leads. Oh, but they're at a job site. They got to work. They're not. They can't reach out. Okay, this is eliminating that. Fully cut it out. It's a lot easier to help and to keep a client, like this says, if they're seeing the book jobs hit their phone, right? Say they're getting text. Oh, they're getting 4 or 5 texts a day being like, hey, new lead came in, booked into the calendar link, call them at this time. That's going to look amazing to them. They're literally not doing a thing other than maybe working, maybe managing the business, whatever it is, and they're getting leads. That's the most important part to them. That's what they love, okay? Just some notes about it. Speed equals trust. Most clients respond slow. This fixes that, okay? Most people are going to have slow responses, slow follow-ups. This completely eliminates that. This is going to help you be more reputable as a, freelance brand skiller, lead generator, whatever it is, okay? This is what turns leads into book jobs, not just names on a list, okay? So say you have your basic pipeline, you had your basic ad service. This isn't just having people fill out your lead form. This is having people actually book, okay? This is very important. You're not just a marketer, you are building their customer getting system. This is why it brings you back to this point. You could charge more because you are not just marketing for them. You're not just boosting posts. You're not just getting clicks. You're literally building their backend system, and that's why it's so important. All right? Without automation, your clients will ghost their own leads without even knowing it sometimes, or with knowing it. Like they literally will be getting leads throughout the day, and they just have either no idea about it or they have an idea about it, and they can't respond. Like, who can just call, have a conversation, give them their quote on a job site? Literally, probably no one. Okay, so this is very important, right? Your clients are going to be ghosting leads, and the whole reason to have these systems over here is to combat that. You need to fix that, which is a very pain point in a lot of businesses. Okay, this is just kind of like what you're going to be using actually within Go High Level. So you're going to be using the workflows. This is like the automations, pretty much. The workflows are going to be the flow charts essentially that are going to be creating the automations that will actually be sent out, the text, the calls, however you set it up. Okay. Conversion tabs, clients will see all lead conversations in one place. This is very helpful to the lead or to the owner. Okay. Calendars lets leads self-book. This is what I was talking about with the calendar link. This lets the leads book themselves into a calendar if your client wants that. Okay, so this isn't something that you need to have. This is if your client kind of wants that. I have always seen a lot of good results in clients having a calendar system where leads can book themselves into it. They call them at that time, they close the lead, book job. Very simple for you, very simple for them. And that creates a lot of value, okay? Pipelines, these are going to be your visual sales flows from new to closed. Okay, so this is going to be tracking all of your clients, all of the leads that are coming, not all the clients, but all the leads that are coming in for your client's business, right? So they're going to be stages. They're going to be, like I said, called, not called, booked, quoted, whatever it is, however you want it set up, however it adjusts to their business is how this is going to be kind of used. Okay, forms. You could use Go High Level forms to capture leads directly from the ads, or you could use Facebook lead forms. Okay, contacts, manage and tag everyone. So whenever you have your clients and you need to contact them, you could use Go High Level to even contact them, or you could have this to manage all of your clients' contacts, right? Very important. Something that you're probably going to primarily use it for is making sure that your client is having all of these information of their leads booked into here, right? Scribbling all over it. All right. Now here's actually scaling. So this part is going to be less about the actual clients, more about you, okay? Scaling from one client, which a lot of people are stuck at, or 1 to 3 clients, to a full lead gen business. This is the goal, a full lead gen business, okay? Here's an option. You could scale with paid ads. This is pretty much, like it says down here, you are eating your own cooking. Proof that you trust the system. This is using your own system, your own techniques to better yourself, better your agency. Okay, this is an option. If you have the capital for it, it's great. So run your own lead gen ads, offering your service to businesses. The funnel idea would be an ad lead or an ad to a lead form, okay, the lead form to a booking page, and a go high low follow up. Exactly what your cooking is. Like down here, you're eating your own cooking. You're doing this for clients, do it for yourself, okay? Retarget warm leads that ghosted after video audits or DMs, collect their contact information, do a mass blast to them, be like, hey, let's follow up, whatever it is, okay? Targeting specific niches. So whenever you're doing ads, you're going to be, that's kind of blurs it out, but whenever you're going to be running your own ads, you're going to be having the option to actually target interest, target people specifically in, demographics, right? So if you're looking to reach out to detailers, you could use things like detailing, high ticket local services, contractors that spend money on ads, all these different kind of niches that are going to bring you people that are wanting to actually get into your business, right? Option 2, use short form content to build authority. Very, 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 very important step of building your own agency. Perez, Josh, Harley, Dan, Elmer, Raspy, I think his name is. All these guys that are in the top of the freelance brand scaling community or job, business model, all have an insane amount of content authority. This is creating your social presence on all of these platforms, right? So you don't just need one, you need all of them. You need to be present on all platforms. Use your Instagram to drive people to your YouTube. Use your YouTube to drive people to your Instagram. Use it to drive people to your TikTok. Let it like use the systems to build your own social authority. Very important in creating a successful business is having some kind of online page, right? People, your clients even, are going to want to see you. They're going to want to see how you're doing. They want to see your other clients. They're going to want to see the past results that you're getting. So this is very, very important. It's also a way to spread your knowledge, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm making a video about how to get into this, how to start this, how to do this, right? So this is very important to grow your own social proof, okay? Like it says, use TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts. Local business owners do watch these very quietly. You'd be very surprised how many people get clients from YouTube or from YouTube Shorts or from TikTok. Like, it's insane that you would literally, your mind would be blown how many business owners actually use these platforms to reach out to people, okay? So it's very, very, like, I guess you want to say, like, in the shade, but at the same time, it's very known. Everyone uses these platforms, right? You could kind of just infer that there's going to be business owners on here. There's going to be business owners on every social media platform. So take advantage, okay? Post your wins, like I said. Post book jobs, before and afters, client reactions, which is going to help with, referrals and stuff like that, getting a good response from your clients. Show, this is just some content ideas. Show, how I generated these leads for these roofers in 6 days, whatever it is. Create micro clips, creating websites, explaining ad strategies, breaking down your funnel. This can be very important whenever you're actually going to be signing someone. You could have videos to refer to be like, this is what I do, this is my funnel, this is how it's going to work, stuff like that. Option 3 is another option to help build yourself. Hire a VA or a setter to multiply your output. So have someone who's going to be sending DMs for you, tracking leads into your sheet, booking calls into your calendar. You just close and fulfill. Okay, start with a part-time VA from, this is just like some websites that you could find them on, Upwork. You're stopping the $10 an hour work and focusing on the 1K hour parts, sales and strategy. So this is going to eliminate and kind of get rid of all the soft work that you don't want to be doing, sending DMs, cold calling, whatever it is. You could literally use a VA for anything, okay? You could give them a task and they're literally hired to do that task. So make it and set it up to whatever's going to be helping your business. All right. This is just some notes over the section. All right. Do what works. Just do more of it. Okay. So don't try and change it up. Do what works and do more of it. Volume over variety. Okay. Scale the thing that works first. There's a lot of people jumping niche to niche, offer to offer, different things. No, you need to find what works for you and run with it. Because once you do that, once you find a system that's working for you, it's a lot easier to scale than it is to jump into different things and try and make them work, okay? Treat this like a business, not just a hustle, okay? You're not in this to make some quick money. You're in this to build a business, okay? Delegate outreach once you've got it dialed. Once you can understand and learn how to properly outreach, properly call, properly DM, all these things. Once you learn how to do it, you need to delegate those tasks. That's going to help you and let you build your business without having to take care of all the small things that you didn't start. Okay, DMs, cold calls, whatever it is, like I said. Use your client results as ads for your own business. If you're generating clients, good leads, good everything, put those on the ads that I was talking about in option 1. You need to use meta, which is what you're already doing. You're eating your own cooking, and use the past results that you're getting for other clients to build your social network and stuff like that. Find more people. All right, now we're going to be going over the pricing, okay? The actual pricing of how much you're going to be charging these people to do the services for them. Starter, okay? And this all depends on your niche, your experience, your everything. So this is very subjective, right? But this is the basic kind of version of it to help kind of make you understand what you should be charging, how you should be charging, everything like that, okay? Pricing and offers, what to charge, how to structure it. Okay, so if you're just starting, right, you shouldn't be going over probably $750 to $850 a month, right? It's great for new clients, low trust prospects, so people that aren't going to be making hundreds of thousands of dollars yearly or monthly. This is very good for kind of the detailers, the window washers, all the low ticket kind of jobs, right? This is going to be your campaign running, basic go high level automation, weekly reporting. Now, I will say, if you're charging $500, I wouldn't do go high level automations. Now, you can, if you have go high level or automations fully down, you could. When I was just starting and I was charging prices like this, I didn't. I just did campaign running. If I'm charging less than $1,000, you're going to be getting less than $1,000 worth of work. If I'm going to be doing, setting up automations for follow-ups, for bookings, for calendars, for everything, there needs to be some kind of compensation for that, right? Let's say, obviously, reporting is going to be very important. It's going to be a part of everything. But campaign running is going to be your primary target whenever you're doing the starter package or the most basic kind of offers. Use this to build case studies or close budget conscious clients. Okay, use this pricing strategy sort of to navigate through clientele. If you have multiple clients that are all like, don't want to spend too much, the margins aren't great recently, we haven't been getting too many numbers, use this. You could tell them, hey, I won't do the automations, I won't do the full back end, but I will get you leads and I will get you campaigns, right? That's what they want. So tell them, hey, I'll knock off the price, but I'm knocking down what I'm giving you, okay? So use this, build them up with it. Obviously tell them, like, let's do this. Say they run with it. A month later, they're doing, $11,000 in extra detailing services that you booked them. They're going to be like, okay, well, we could have had another $20,000, but we didn't have the automations. Kind of bring that up to them and pitch it to them. Again, you could keep kind of using your own cooking. Like I said, use your own cooking to repitch it, right? So if you have clients that you're noticing aren't, getting proper follow-ups, aren't getting as many clients booked as the leads they're getting and stuff like that, it's very inconsistent. That's going to be a great opportunity for you to upcharge and bring them into the standard, which would be the main retainer offer, which is usually what I stick around, okay? This is going to include the meta ads campaign running, so it's just running the ads, the go high level lead automation, so this is going to be you actually getting the leads, a text, an email, and actually put into the pipeline. So this is going to be the full, the service, right? Constant reporting, this just means that you're going to be reporting them off of everything. Weekly reporting, this is only weekly just because whenever you're simply just running ads, there's kind of a waiting process to see how ads are doing, testing wise, kind of getting results and stuff like that. So this is kind of just constant reporting, letting you know, hey, the pipeline's good, make sure you follow up these people, so-and-so, okay? These are ideal for businesses that are in the high ticket, high ticket to medium ticket, right? I wouldn't say this is primarily high ticket. I should have, worded that a little bit better, but I will say this is ideal for services who are doing, $10,000 to $30,000 a month and can actually afford and use a full pipeline system, okay? This is going to be your premium. This is going to be for your high ticket, your roofers, your remodelers, your pool builders, the people that are going to be doing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 jobs, okay? So you're going to have the full meta campaign stack. So this is going to be pretty much just like the last ones, but you're going to be doing a lot more in depth, more targeting, more everything, okay? Go high level automations and the pipeline setup, same thing with this one. Okay, these are just going to be a lot more in depth because you're going to actually need to get more out of the customer, Okay, you're going to be needing to ask them, say it's pools. What's your square footage? How much do you want this? And these are things that you can set up as far as if you want to have a automation that kind of pre-quotes or pre-qualifies the clients before actually giving them off to the owner, you can do that. Kind of what this premium section is for is because you're going to be doing stuff like that. But yeah, booking system plus setup follow-up or plus review follow-up. So you're going to be booking them into calendars. You're going to be following up with the people that were kind of past customers, getting their reviews and using that as social proof for the business itself. Okay, so following up with people that have used the service, following up with people who are, familiar with the company that you're working with, and actually getting them to make, testimonials, talk about their results, talk about if they're happy or not. Call tracking and dedicated support. These are options that you can have within Go High Level. I wouldn't say you need all of this to the extreme, but this is something that you can definitely learn if you're getting into the high ticket market. You need to be actually implementing all of these services. Money. This is going to be your $2,000, $3,000 a month. Sticky notes. Don't sell hours, sell results, and book jobs. Okay, you're not going to be selling your life away by doing this. Okay, you need to be selling your experience, your results, and book jobs to your clients, right? So don't be selling your time, be selling your information, your knowledge, and everything like that, okay? The client's cost doesn't matter if they're profiting 5 to 10x, okay? So they're going to be mad. They're going to be like, oh, I don't want to pay $2,000 to you. I don't want to pay $3,000. Okay, well, you don't want to pay $3,000, but we could literally get you $15,000 to $20,000 in the next couple of weeks. Like, why would that be something that, even crosses your mind? But explain that to them. Obviously, don't be like how I just said it, but explain to them that they need to be making an investment into their business that's going to profit them, okay? Low ballers aren't worth the headache, bro. If you're getting people that are saying like, oh, I'll only give you $300 to run my ads, bro, let them go. It's not even worth it. I get, in the beginning it's going to be, you want the money, you want the offers, you want the clients. Having a shitty client will ruin you more than it will help you, okay? You're going to be having to deal with the headache of, oh, this guy barely even paid me, now I got to go do his shit, right? You're going to be unhappy. It's not worth it, okay? You can always raise prices once you show value. Say you book a high $30,000 client at this rate. Say you book him at $1,500 for the full systems. A month later, once he books another $100,000 in jobs, you can charge him $3,000, $5,000, $8,000. Depending on however much you're obviously making him. Obviously, you want to be in the same page as what you're, kind of creating for them. But, the whole goal is to actually have it, coincide with what you're, getting them. Okay? I believe that's the right word, coincide. Collect payment before the ads go live, invoice, Stripe or Go High Level. I kind of talked about this, but always make sure you get paid before you do your work. Very important. You don't want to be working for free. You don't want to be not getting paid, right? All right, now kind of the niches. This is very, 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 very important topic because a lot of people kind of mess this up, okay? Let's just go over the 3 criteria to find a profitable niche. You need a high ROI per job, okay? The average job should be worth at least $500 minimum. Ideally, $1,000 to $5,000 if you're in a higher ticket range or mid-ticket range. Plus high, spelled bad, but mid or high ticket jobs should be, mid probably more in the $1,000 to $5,000 range. So use your service fees so your service fees feels small compared to the revenue and returns. This is very important because if you're getting a client who's doing $100, $200, $300 jobs and they're paying you $1,000 to run their ads, it's going to be like you need at least 5 to 10 solid clients before they're even profitable as far as just paying you, not even the ads themselves. So you need a high ROI. Detailers is a very important topic because detailed jobs can vary, okay? There's something called ceramic coatings, which is like a coating on your car to kind of help with water resistance, keep it clean and stuff like that. Those are very high ticket in the detailing market. Those are things that if you have a detailing client, you should want to be targeting. Other than that, obviously you're going to want to be getting, normal service jobs, full service jobs and whatever, but you need to target if you're in a low ticket kind of job or niche, you need to be targeting the highest ticket in that. And that for detailing would be ceramic coatings, full services, interior, exterior, out, or whatever it is, right? Number 2, sales ready buyers. Okay, so choose industries where people already want or need the service. Example, storm damaged roofs, dirty driveways, worn paint, luxury car owners. This kind of goes back to detailers. If you're getting into detailing or want to get detailing clients, you need to be targeting luxury car owners. Those are the people that aren't taking their car through a car wash, right? So that's very important, and you could charge more with those, right? If you're detailing a high-end car, it's going to be charged more than obviously dealing like a Toyota Camry, right, bro? So just kind of have it, obviously you need sales-ready buyers, and that's the whole point of this, right? You're not going to be creating any demand. As far as you running ads, you're not creating demand in the lead gen space. It's different if you're an e-com, because then you're creating either a product, some kind of, maybe a clothing, or, whatever it is. You're creating a demand for your own product. This is different. You're not creating demand. You're capturing it. You're getting people to submit leads to your owner, to the business owners, right? And, it's pretty simple, okay? So, pretty much just to round this off, sales-ready buyers, people who need the work, obviously aren't going to be, shopping around or anything like that. They want it. They need it. Find them. Okay. No real marketing system. This is very important. This is how I find a lot of good clients. Okay. Local businesses who are great at the service but are bad at marketing. This is a very, very important topic because I've seen hundreds, maybe even thousands of good businesses with horrible marketing. And what that looks like is maybe they're running ads. Say they're running meta ads and they just don't look good. They don't have a good creative. They don't have a good targeting. Say they're from California, right? And I live in Texas, like I said earlier, and I'm getting their ads. It's not set up right. Their locations are wrong. Their targeting's wrong. All of that stuff's wrong. So find these bad things and help them fix it. Okay. So no ads, no automation, no consistent follow-up. Massive opportunity for you. Massive opportunity for you. Okay. If you go through their pipeline, say you submit a lead and they don't text you back within the next 30 minutes, and it takes them 4 or 5 hours to, and there's no real follow-up after your lead form. So say it doesn't direct you to a website, doesn't direct you to their page, doesn't direct you to anything. If there's no pipeline, which is what that's called, which is like the pipeline service, and kind of takes you through their pipes, essentially, it's kind of like what the term is, then you have a great opportunity to fix that for them. So find these businesses with no automation, these people who aren't getting text instantly after they submit a form, no consistent follow-up. Say it's been 2 days since you've sent it, no follow-ups whatsoever. Great opportunity. No ads, literally the greatest opportunity because you could give them a whole new marketing strategy, but it's a little bit uncommon. Okay, these are some examples. Number one, of the high ROI per job, what I was talking about earlier here. You want businesses where one closed job covers your monthly fee, okay? So they never question the value. Examples. And this is very subjective. If you are new to the space, you're not going to be getting these people that are doing some, $40,000 jobs, $30,000 jobs. Start low, work high, okay? That's the best advice I can give to someone starting out. Don't jump into these, big kind of jobs just because they sound great, there's a lot of money. It is great, but you're not going to be, you're not going to be really having the knowledge or the experience or the means to be able to fully fulfill what you're going to be promising and whatnot. Like I said, continuing. Examples, roofing. The average job is from $6,000 to $20,000, which is a great return. Okay. Pool construction, anywhere from $25,000 to $100,000 jobs. This is great for summer. If it's, obviously it's July now, but if it was May or April again, you should be fine. Or not even, maybe in March, February, January. People that are getting ready for the summer season, they're going to want pools. They're going to want, things done, right? Ceramic coating, this goes back to detailing. These are the higher ticket jobs within detailing, so target these whenever you're doing ads for them. 800 to 2K. Stamped concrete, which is great, concrete curbing, concrete, edging, whatever it is, $2,000, $8,000 jobs, which are great. Remodeling contractors, these are some big ones, okay, $10,000 to $50K. I've even seen some go up to, maybe $100,000, $150,000, which is crazy, okay? And why this matters, if you're charging $1,500 a month and their job is worth $4,000, say you get one roofing job or 2 ceramic coatings, all at, 3, even 4 ceramic coatings, all at $500, you're already making back $2K, okay? They need one close to profit. This is so important because if you're working and you want to get into the high ticket business, they only need 1 to 2 jobs to fully clear what you're charging, which is great. And you could even charge more once you get to the point of obviously built trust, built proof that it works. Number two, just going back to sales ready buyers. Sales ready buyers, right? All right. Choose niches where the customer already knows they need help. You're just putting your client, or you're putting your client in front of them at the right time. These are people who are already interested in having their roof redone, having their driveway cleaned, having their old fence cleaned or replaced, muddy landscaping, like it says here, luxury car owners, like I said, peeled house paint, obvious fixed needs. So all these things within here are creating an urgency or a need for help, which is a great opportunity to market to them. Okay, storms, damaged roofs. This has urgency. Insurance pays, not the customer. So this is a great way to make a ton of money. Okay, dirty driveway, obvious before and after. Okay, so clean their driveway, or obviously have your client clean their driveway if it's some kind of pressure washing, whatever it is. Okay, old fence or deck, visible issue. Okay, people don't want their house broken. People don't want their house terrible looking. Okay, so if they have old stuff, they're going to want to get it fixed. Visible issues, which are great to market to. Muddy landscaping, pain equals emotional. Okay, so they're not going to want they're not going to want their landscape all nasty. They're not going to want no grass. They're not going to want dirt. So these landscapers can come in, fix it up for you. You just need to market to these people properly, which is so important. Okay. Luxury car owners, they want clean, they want shine, they want maintenance, they want their cars taken care of, and it's a great opportunity to have ceramic coatings done. Okay, these people will have no issue paying $800, $500, $1,000, $2,000 to get their ceramic coatings done. That's going to last them a year or two, maybe even more than that. Obviously I'm not a car detailer, so I don't really know, but I know they last for a while. Okay, so they want these things clean. They want them done. They want them maintenance. They want them done right. So it's a great opportunity to market to them, like I said. Okay. Anyway, going back. So peeled house paint. Okay. People who have their siding of their house peeling, they have some kind of issues with the siding of their house. This is often this is very subjective to your location and where you're looking at. But some people obviously who live in areas where they have I don't know if it's wood or whatever siding on their house is like paint or painted or whatever. And it's not looking good. This is a great opportunity for you to market to those people. Okay, why it matters. You don't need to convince anyone of. Okay, that's bad. You don't need to convince anyone of anything. Even you just show up with a clean ad and offer. Leads convert faster. Didn't mean to move that. So this is very simple. Okay, the process of sales ready buyers is great because you are not finding any kind of new market. You're finding a market that already exists and catering to it. Okay, marketing to them. Number three, no real marketing system. Local service owners who are great at their craft but don't run ads, don't automate follow-up, lose leads constantly. This is probably one of the biggest issues with local servicers, is that they don't have systems to prevent them from losing their leads. Example, Instagram pages with 15 posts, no bio link, nothing telling them about their business. People literally just older aged people who don't understand how important it is to have a social media presence and stuff like that. Okay, using only a Facebook page, hasn't posted in 6 months, still texting leads manually, no CRM, very important. Says call us for a quote instead of offering online booking. Okay, the new age, the new online age, this is very, very important. Okay, no one wants to make calls to get their stuff. No one wants to go on their phone. Oh, let me call them. Oh, can I get a quote? No one's trying to do that. Let me book a call. Let me call them at that time. Let's get it done. Okay, very important, very easy to fix even. Okay, and these are all just things that you need to be looking for whenever you're looking for business to reach out to. Okay, so check these things, go through their pipeline, see what it looks like. Okay, why it matters. These businesses are leaving money on the table and they'll gladly pay you to fix it. These clients have no issue with paying. If they're in the space of having a good quality craft and they're not closing as many leads as they want, it's very easy for you to close them on that. You could literally offer them where you're getting all of these clients, you're getting leads, you're getting people, but you're not running ads. Okay, you're not getting an automated follow-up. You're losing leads constantly and you don't even know it. Okay, combine all three and you have an ideal client. Example, a local roofer with no real ads running who charges $10,000 per job minimum, probably. This is just kind of like an average guess. And is getting storm inquiries but cannot follow up fast. That's a client who will happily pay you $1,500 and never look back at it. Okay, you could find an ideal client with all of these three things. Okay, a high ROI, sales ready buyers, and no real marketing, and you have the perfect client. Example would be this right here. Okay, someone who's not running ads, no follow-up, or they're getting people in, can't follow up with them immediately, they will happily pay you, I promise. Quick case study. Okay, this was in the past couple weeks. I believe it was literally like, what day is it? Today's the 30th. So this was the past week. Yeah, so this was the past week. This was the past month. And this is with a new, brand new, pretty much online signed client. Okay. I'm not going to really go into any specifics, obviously, but we can go through kind of what they're getting. So they spent $350, brought them back, and this was within 1 week. This campaign has been running probably for going on 2 weeks. But yeah, so they spent $349.11. They brought back 25 leads at $13 a lead. That's really the most important metrics. Obviously, link clicks are important. All of these things are important to make sure that your ads are actually doing good. But you can kind of, CPC, honestly, this is very high. $3 per action is very high, okay? But it makes up for it because this person is in, I'll go into kind of like what the business is, obviously. This is a concrete contractor. They're doing multiple $1,000 jobs, meaning they're closing clients at least minimum, probably $2,000 to $3,000 for a job. And they're closing, say they have a literally like a 5% close rate. They're making their money back times 5. And if they're paying me, let's just say, for example, $2,000 a month, they're making their money back literally instantly. Like it's crazy. This is the full month. This isn't 30 days of running the campaign. This is literally just showing this specific campaign throughout the month. It's only been running for like just past a week. You can kind of tell by the results, 25 compared to 39. So it was running for a couple days before this full week. But yeah, so total spent around $558. Okay, got them back 39 leads at $14 per lead, 186 link clicks total. Okay, these are great numbers as far as leads per lead and everything. Okay, considering there's a lot of people who are having clients exactly like this and are getting leads but at like $30, $40, $50 a lead, which is, it's tolerable depending on the niche, because within this niche, you're obviously having people who are making multiple $1,000s per job, so they don't need to close as many. They don't need as low of a CPL, right? But within this, it's always great to have a low CPL. It's beautiful to see. So yeah. I'll just kind of give some insight as far as CPL, spend, and leads themselves. These are great numbers to see. And I will say these clients closed, let's just, for example, they closed, let's just say about 9 leads. Okay. Give them 30 that they just threw away, didn't even see. Okay. Just for example, obviously this didn't happen, but say they closed 9 of these people, and let's just do the most basic math. Okay. Let's just say that they closed 9 of these dudes for $2,000 jobs. They just made 18 racks. 18 racks. Okay? Off of 7, 8 days, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is insane. And if I'm only charging $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, they're making their money back times like 5, bro. Like, they're making insane bread. Okay? They spent $500. They spent $500 to bring back, let's just say they closed 9 of them, spent $500 to bring back 18,000. That means they're only paying, say I charge $2,000, they're only paying $2,558.12 for my full service. And literally they're making back 19,000. So this isn't a great example and a great case study to kind of look at and see what's possible for you. Just some notes. 14 CPL for high ticket local service means big ROI, big return on the investment. Okay, client closed 4 jobs, let's just say, at 39 leads, $7K plus revenue. And this is kind of just going off of 4 jobs out of 39, which did not happen. We definitely closed more than that, I will say. But system runs 24/7. Go High Level has no downtime. Okay, you're getting leads in, leads out instantly. Okay, there's text backs, follow-ups instantly. Lead goes straight to GHL workflow. Bam, text them immediately. Okay, visual proof equals instant credibility when pitching new clients. Having these case studies is beautiful to have to present to new clients, because they're going to love to see that you're doing good for other people. They're going to trust you more. To kind of round it out a little bit, there's one thing after this, but the most common struggles that you will see as a brand scaler, just to kind of go through it. Inconsistent lead flow. 1 month you get 5 calls. Next month it's cricket. Build a system that runs daily outreach plus paid ads to stay booked. This is very important if you're looking to scale your own business. Okay, if you're looking to bring on more clients, more people to work with, you need to do something about it. Okay, like those ways I talked about earlier. Up here, all these options are great to get more people in. Okay, clients don't respond to leads. Okay, you are generating leads. Say you're selling just the ad service. You are generating leads, but they don't follow up, equals no bookings, equals blame on you. Eliminate this. Get it out. I'm saying to everyone, get it out. You do not want your client to get mad at you because you aren't getting them the results that they want because you aren't doing something that you could fix. I know it's kind of like a tongue twister, but still, you could be fixing this very, very easily, okay? Fix, use Go High Level to automate text, calls, and internal notifications so leads convert. Very important. Very, very, very important. Undercharging or getting ghosted. Charging $300 to $500 and doing everything, or quoting $1,000 and getting it ignored. This is very, very common that you're going to run into. You're going to be quoting people, and they're going to be like, no, I don't want to pay that much, or I'll pay you less. Like, you can't charge $300 to $500 and expect to be a millionaire, right? Like, you gotta know what you're worth as far as what you're doing for them, right? Obviously, I'm not saying overcharge, but don't undermine yourself, undermine your business, undermine everything. That's so stupid of you, okay? To fix this, use value-based pricing, show proof, sell outcomes, and build urgency. Like I said earlier, urgency is going to be key. Selling your outcomes, having case studies like this to prove that you know what you're doing, okay? Use value-based pricing. So whatever value you are bringing to them, base your pricing off of that, I would say. So if you're bringing them $10, $15, $30,000 in extra monthly clients and revenue, then base it off of that, right? Base it off of 10% even if you want to. $3,000 off of 30K generated. That's pretty normal, okay? Niche hopping. This is very, very common and is so stupid, and I hate to see it. Changing industries every 2 weeks because no traction. You're never going to find a lot of money in something if you literally stick to it for a week, 2 weeks. People are so quick to jump to what's hot rather than making something work. And that's just trend writers. Like, that's literally going to be the death of you, is trying to find something that someone else already did, someone else already made work. Like, it's just stupid. Pick one niche, get 3 wins before testing new ones. Like I said earlier, you got to stick to it. Stick to the program, okay? I did window cleaning for a while, I did detailing for a while, and then I jumped into contracting. I started working with concrete contractors, renovators, all these things. But before I was jumping between all of them, I was getting them results. I was working with multiple window cleaners. I was working with multiple contractors, getting them all proof that it works so I could sign more and more and more. Okay, that's the whole goal. All right? Doing everything alone. This is very important to not do, okay? Outreaching, ads, automation, reporting, support equals burnout. You're not going to want to run your business if you are burnt out. You're going to be so sick of it. Even if you're making good money, there's a chance that you're probably going to be like, this is stupid, right? But you honestly will limit yourself if you're not delegating tasks. It'll get to a certain point to where you can only handle so much that you're going to limit what you can make monthly, or however you go about it. But hire a VA, virtual assistant, for DMs, follow-ups. Only you should close and build the strategy. So hire a VA, make them set appointments, make them DM for you, make them call for you, do whatever it is, but you need to be there for the close. Okay, very important. You need to close them, you need to build the strategy, you need to run it for them. You could hire media buyers, but that's something that you should probably get into later. Okay, that's going to be you if you do all of these things that I said not to do. All right, notes. You don't need more services, you need more results. This is very important because a lot of people think, oh, let me post for you, oh, let me do this for you, let me create this for you, let me do all these creatives for you. No, that's not what you need to be doing. You don't need to provide more services to kind of, I don't know what the word is, but you don't need to provide more services to stay in line with what you're charging. You could charge a lot, but you're also going to be getting them a lot. Okay, so what this means is, you don't need to be adding things onto your service packages. You need to be getting them more results, okay? More results equals you could charge more. The whole point of people adding more services is so they can charge more. But you don't need to do that. You just need to get them more results. Be the expert, not the tech support guy. I said this earlier. Don't be the ads guy. Be the guy, okay? You need to know what's going on, how it's going. Don't be the tech support. Don't be like, oh, let me call this guy up. What's going wrong? Okay, you need to be the guy that's actually building the systems for them, okay? Full summary, just to go over everything we just went through. The 5 core steps. Sending messages, okay? Very important. Use DMs, cold calls, video audits to get clients, okay? Track and follow up. Marking and tracking your people that you've reached out to, possible clients that you can sign. Very important. Make sure you're tracking them. Make sure you're following up with them until you can close or you get a hard no. And even then, I've gotten no's, I've gotten no, it's not the right time, and I get texts months later. Oh, hey, let's work. I got the money now. Okay, so always follow up. Always be polite. It can always work out for you in the end. Okay, number 3, close the deal and get paid. Okay, focus on book jobs, not marketing. Okay, sell the outcomes. Don't worry about all the in-between and stuff. You need to close the deal, get paid, deliver. It's very simple. Don't worry about all the other crap. Run ads and automate the follow-up. Okay, use Meta Ads Manager, very simple, to generate the leads. Use Go High Level to instantly text the leads, notify the client, and book calls. Super simple system. Obviously, it's not that easy once you're actually doing it. But the idea of itself is very easy to get into, understand, and probably learn. Okay? You just have to put time in. That's how it works. Scale the system. Use content, use paid ads, use VAs to grow, not just hustle harder. Okay? A lot of people think you can grow your business by hustling very hard, which is true. Obviously, you need to hustle. But it gets to a point to where you've hustled so much that you're burnt out. You don't want to get to that point ever. Okay, because then you're not going to want to be, you're not even going to be supporting your own business. How could you support someone else's if you can't even love your own, right? So delegate the tasks that you don't want to do, delegate the creatives, delegate the outreach, whatever it is, whatever you hate the most, get rid of it. Okay, it's very simple. Pricing strategy, start with 500 to 750. Your core retainer for, your mid-ticket clients are going to be 1,000, 1,500. Premium, 2,000 to 3,000. Charge based on values, not hours, okay? You don't need to, honestly, once you have a system that works and you know it works and you've done it over and over again, you're not going to be spending that many hours doing it. Like, truthfully, you're not going to be spending 8-hour days like you used to whenever you're just starting, trying to learn everything, trying to outreach all day. That's not it, okay? You need to charge based on your value because that's going to be there forever. You're always going to have value. You're not always going to be spending all of your time on this, okay? The value you're bringing, very important, like I said, like all these things, ads, Go High Level, instant text, all these things are what you need, is what this is talking about, okay? Niches to target, these are just kind of broad. These are, tapping into pretty much every kind of, low ticket, high ticket, whatever it is, okay? Roofers, pool builders, ceramic detailers, curb installers, lawn care. These are all pretty high ticket. Ceramic detailers, but everything else, yeah. Lawn care, depends, okay? It's all subjective, like I said earlier. It's very subjective to, what it is specifically. Undermarketed and in need of systems, okay? All these people, all of these, you will have a beautiful time finding that they do not have good marketing whatsoever. They think they do. They think they're paying this company thousands of dollars a month to run some ads for them. Okay, they're running some ads on Google. They're running some ads on freaking Yelp. Like, whatever it is, like whatever they're doing in the past, they're being undermarketed because they're using some kind of mass agency to market them. Okay, so explain that to them. Explain how it's going to fix it. They're in need of real systems, okay? Those systems that they're, paying for leads on or paying for ads on isn't getting you this. It's not getting you instant leads. It's not notifying the client. It's not booking calls, okay? My proof that this works, I just showed you the case study earlier. 39 leads generated in about a week, $14 per lead, minimum. Obviously, this is 4+, but 4+ jobs closed, 7K plus revenue, just minimum, okay? Client ROI, 10x minimum. 10x minimum. Okay, they spent around $500, $558, right? Made back 18,000. Pretty nuts, yeah. Common struggles solved: inconsistent lead flow, clients ghosting leads, undercharging, niche shopping, burnout from doing everything manually. Prevent all of these. Prevent. You don't want to niche shop, don't want to burn out, okay? What makes the system different? You're not just running ads. You're building a booking machine. You are a full marketing piece to a business. You're the guy. You're the guy. Okay. Clients get real leads, real automation, real results. Okay. You're not just guessing. You're using proven systems that are proven to work through your own work. Okay. Final words, you don't need a big team. You don't need to have 100 people in your agency. You don't need to have 1,000. You don't need to have 15. You need maybe a few people max. Okay. You don't need to be perfect. You're going to mess up. I promise. You're going to mess up calls. You're going to mess up sales. You're going to mess up closing people. You're going to mess up ads. You're going to mess up creatives. You're going to mess up absolutely everything. I guarantee you're probably going to mess up at least once. Okay. Biggest thing is you got to bounce back, bro. Bounce back. Okay. You just need to start with one client, one niche, one system. The results come from execution, not more learning. Okay. The best way to learn is through execution, through real practice. If you are doing things over and over and over and over again, you are learning. You're understanding what's going wrong, what's not working, what's doing, what I don't want it to do. So the results are coming from you executing, not you learning, not you, reaching out, asking people questions. That's not learning. That's just getting the answer. Okay. But there's no real way to prove that's even the answer if you don't execute. So always execute. Okay. Very simple. And that should round it off. Okay. So I appreciate everyone for watching this video. It's a great video, first video out. So I'm going to go edit it. It should be up soon. So whenever you're watching this, it's obviously going to be up. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. DM me on Instagram. If you have questions about anything, here it is, JScaled, @JScaled. Ask me if any questions. I'll try and help you my best. Or reach out to me on Discord. Some of you who are probably watching this have me on Discord. So ask me if you have any questions. Willing to help. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you all have a good one. Go sign your next client now.